ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know?
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile.
Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
My pocket, it don't make sense, but don't make a profit. So I hustle, ladies and homies. Make money, money.
Hold out here for a pill. Really tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find a thing to save my life, so I hustle.
It ain't over for me. No, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Show me the money!
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
Oh yeah, you damn right. Yeah, right on time. Bogart. Which ways though for some reason.
What's heading?
You're hella geeking. You're sideways right now.
I know my shit. Hold on. I think I need to click back in. Hold on.
All right. No, it worked right there. Now he's back in. Yeah. All right. Albert in the house. What up, homie? Peacock in the building. Caca, what up? And Guccini said 50 Cent How to Rob is basically the title of today's show. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And Albert said, pick two keepers, JT in the second. Well, of course, you're picking JT in the second. Diggs in the fourth, Pitts in the fifth, Javonte in the ninth. I mean, you're picking Diggs. I mean, you're picking JT in the second for sure. I mean, he's the 101 in like every league. This one's kind of crazy, though. All right, Bogey, let's get your thoughts on this before we jump into some trades. Albert's asking for keepers. So he's got JT in the second, Diggs in the fourth, Pitts in the fifth, or Javonte in the ninth.
Where's he positioned in the draft? Maybe
I don't know.
I'll just take JT because that means I still get a crack at.
No, you get two keepers. That's what he gets two. So
yeah.
JT, I figure, is a slam dunk. Like you'd be crazy not to get him in the second.
Yeah.
I mean, Diggs is nice in the fourth. But I almost feel like if everyone's going to be keeping running backs, because you know that there's going to be leagues where like literally everyone keeps two running backs. I want Javonte in the ninth. Like that's like stealing at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I know he asked this question yesterday when we were doing a mock draft, and I think he had us picking 3 out of the 4. So yeah, so I took JT, Diggs, and Javonte. You know what I mean? But if I had to pick 2 out of the 3, I'm probably going the running backs. I mean, yeah, just based on I'm sure this is single QB, and most people are like they're gonna recognize running backs as being the ones that isn't as abundant. So I would go that direction.
If this was a super flex league, there'd for sure be a QB in this mix as well.
But I do like, I mean, JT and Diggs is also a smash too. You know what I mean? So you're winning either way. But I mean, I'm probably going the running backs here because they're if you don't keep running backs, it's probably going to be harder to find those after people choose their keepers. You know what I mean?
Right. Wide receivers, even the top end ones, is probably going to be a little bit easier. Probably going to be a little bit easier to get either way.
Like, I mean, there's unless the person has a super shitty team, you're going to see a lot of these, Mike Evans, Keenan Allen, guys like that are probably going to get thrown back unless they belong to a shitty ass team, and those are just the good players. You know what I mean?
Right. Man, I have no idea what the fuck is going on with my lights right now.
Every time I'm on, everything gets all fucked up. Like, and this ain't just for everybody. It's also for everybody else. It's also for me. Like I couldn't even get on my phone on. It was Get on here. I'm all sideways.
Let's see. Oh, maybe it's this. Oh, there we go. I didn't turn off the other light. That's what I needed to do. All right, let's see. Who else we got? Devin up in here. What up, bro? Silly white boy in the house.
What up, silly white boy?
Nick in the house. What up, bro?
What up, Nick?
All right. So before we start recapping some of these trades, but before I give my philosophy, I mean, we got two different like versions of traders in here, because I'm gonna say like everything's calculated, because I was even thinking how do I explain the difference between us? And it's not about being calculated, because everything Bogart sends out there is calculated. I'm just way more conservative with the amount of trades that I'll make and send out, and ones that I'll even consider. And we'll let Bogart get into his philosophy first, because you know, if you ain't trading, you ain't trying in Bogart's life.
I just figure if I want it, I'm finna get it. Like, you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with trying to send a trade offer out. So it's like, you know, you might be looking at your team and being like, man, my team, I don't really like it. You know, there's something you could do about that. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty cut and dry. Like, if you don't like the way your team is, send some trade offers out, and like, don't just go after a player that you want because he's a badass motherfucker. You can't just be like, I want JT. You know what I mean? Like, you got to hope that the JT owner has a massive hole that you could fill. You know what I mean? So you could be like, hey, here's, my best running back that I have. I'm going to take JT, but I'm also going to throw you XYZ that you need help with. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you shouldn't get mad at people when they don't, humor your trade offers. Like, a needs for needs is 100% the way to go. Then there's everything else after that follows. Like, recency bias is also another one of my favorite ones. That's where I don't care what a person needs or what I need. If there's a player that there's something negative about and he's a good player, like say right now, Antonio. No, I'm not gonna say Antonio Gibson.
No. Here, we could get into that, because the first trade that I wanted to bring up, is definitely recency bias. This is our man Lee right here, and he did say that like he sent it out and shouldn't, and like totally forgot to take it down. But Antonio Gibson for Max Crosby, and I mean, like Max.
And he texted me. Here's. I might feel partly responsible, because he asked me, he said, what do you think about Antonio Gibson? I said, well, I mean, he doesn't really have a background as a running back, period. So he's always been a project. And the project, experiment, whatever you want to call it, the results haven't been the greatest. But they've been good enough.
It hasn't been the worst either.
They've been good enough that like we keep projecting him to be something that we haven't seen yet. Because he's had a lot of help. Other big name running backs getting hurt. So
okay, real quick. Because why would someone hate Antonio Gibson but love James Cook when they're literally like the same type of college player, right?
Yeah, but it's the fact that James Cook, James Cook is drafted as a running back, but they're clearly going to use him in the passing game. At least that's what they say, right?
Yeah.
With Gibson, he was a receiver converted to running back.
Yeah.
But he really wasn't a receiver for too long neither. He wasn't a football player in general for too long. You know what I mean? And then you pile up all the injuries. Plus, they draft Brian Robinson, who has a full pedigree of being a running back all throughout college. And he's coming out of Bama. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's the thing that kind of it's just crazy to me how people think that Antonio Gibson is like literally going to be nothing. We're talking about him being top 12, drafted last year, literally finished top 12. So he paid off the draft capital, even though it was like super ugly at times. And people think, oh, JD McKissick got re-signed. That means Antonio Gibson is not going to catch one pass this year. Oh my gosh, they got Brian Robinson. He went to Alabama. That means he's not going to get one carry like this year. Like,
normally I'm the guy who's trying to find that Gibson owner in this case. And like for example, when Lee was asking me, what do I think? And I said, if you don't like it, you should send some trade offers out and maybe get rid of them before shit hits the fan. And like, he did that, but maybe I should have been specific. Like, I did say package him up. He just sent them out and asked for Max Crosby. That person's going to smash that accept. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, real quick. And
I didn't understand that. I wouldn't advise that at all. Like, but I don't like. Okay, how about this?
And after the fact, he said it was a bonehead move on his part. You know,
yeah,
so,
because I saw his text too late. He's like, I'm just looking for an IDP. It's my fault, because at least he would have got like the 3 or 4 players I tried to send him.
What up,
You know
Sir
what I mean?
Bones alive?
And okay, you ready for this? I'm the same way, but you also, I'm the same way as I'm reactionary. I have 10 dynasty leagues or 10 dynasty teams. I had 6 shares of Elijah Mitchell. Now I have 3 because over the weekend I heard he had a hamstring, but it wasn't. You didn't hear it unless you heard local stuff. You know what I mean? Because it didn't hit the fan yet. Because it might not have been that serious. And then, you know what I mean? It comes out Monday morning that, you know, they already say he's not going to play all the preseason, this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? And like, you know, we all know how a Niner backfield is with Shanahan. You know, he could lose his job just by missing time for real. So because the draft capital, you know, all these guys that he took the job from, they all have higher draft capital or they're paid like a Jeff Wilson. So
what up, Jay Lehman?
Yeah, I'm in danger. I mean, I worry about him being in danger of losing his job or losing touches, or because he's already in a committee to begin with, and we already had to be happy with him just having the lion's share of a committee. Now, with all that said, I went and found somebody who was willing to give me all for things I needed. Because what can you get for Elijah Mitchell to begin with, right? Yeah. So, yeah, and you know, and one of them, I brought back Devontae Parker, Isaiah McKenzie, Isaiah Pacheco, next year's 2nd and 3rd, just for Mitchell. And I did that real fast. Really, it's because I like the future picks. I like getting Parker as depth. McKenzie's whatever, but the Pacheco things, like, all right, throw that in because I might have Mitchell and do nothing for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's probably a little reactionary, but I'm, you know.
No. That's not a little reactionary. That's huge reactionary.
Yeah, I'm willing to do that. And also, here's another thing too, is that I'm making the judgment call that if I'm gonna wait on some, like say I have to wait on Mitchell to get better, I'd rather wait on Pacheco for to get that job because I'm making the judgment call. I think he becomes the lead producer in that backfield by the end of the year. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying that you can't differentiate the two, but this is kind of more of like a redraft trade philosophy than a dynasty trade philosophy, right?
I mean,
like
I take my trade philosophy as it is. You know what I mean? I'll specify. I like recency bias is even easier in redraft. You know what I'm saying? In dynasty, it's like everything is team specific. In that team, the one I just told you about, I had 7 starting running backs.
Oh,
you know how many starting receivers I had? 3. And then I have like 6 receivers that are all like Juwan Jennings, you know, Joshua Palmer, all these guys that I can't even use for real.
And before we move off of that, that's super, super important that I think that people literally do not like take
team specific.
Like yeah, because like, okay, just like you said, you have 7 running backs. Okay. So like, I'm not saying Elijah Mitchell isn't important, but if you only had 3 running backs, he's way more important to that team. But it's not like you still gave him up for nothing necessarily.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because you really have to think it's not about when I trade. The biggest philosophy that I have to live by, it's not what the player is worth to me. It's what the player is worth to the other person. Because just because I value a player less doesn't mean that the person doesn't value them more. And the whole point of like trading is to make your team as good as you can make it with that move. And I feel like there's so many people who are like, oh, I don't like this guy. I got to move him. And, you know, I mean, Lee, I guess we were only talking about his trade. So we'll just use this as an example. I don't like this guy. I don't want him. Let me just move him real quick and moved him for something real quick versus maybe fielding a couple offers, maybe doing accounting, you know, I mean, he sent it out. So it's kind of on him, but you know, versus like asking for a little bit more, then, you know, I go high, you go low. I mean, just Scarface shit. You know, I guess what negotiations is. And
like, here's one thing too, is because a lot of people, I mean, we're only going to talk about sleeper because fuck everything else. But like on sleeper, you obviously have, I don't know, ESPN has something for this too, but you have the players on the block. And like, what's funny about this is like, people will post a player, a good player, like let's use Jonathan Taylor, someone who you'll never really trade. And then the offers are going to come pouring in. Nothing will ever transpire because it's like you will never think that you're getting enough for Jonathan Taylor. What I would say is I'm never posting my players on the block. You know what I mean? You know what I like to do? I just try my best to remember who I spited or I sniped, you know what I'm saying, when I had this player. Because people will make a comment and be the most honest in that moment.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Bruh. I wanted him right there.
I wanted him.
I'm going to come back 3 weeks later. I remember that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
I'm going to remember that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm going to look at what I need. Like, who likes Gibson? Oh, fucking Huss likes Gibson. I'm going to look, okay, what will Huss come up off of that I need? You know what I mean?
I mean, that's how I made one of my best trades in the offseason last year, was trading Kadarius Toney and a first rounder for James Conner and Lenny Fournette. And it was on a team where like I only had really one good running back. Like that like made me lose not having running back depth. But because I knew that person loved Kadarius Toney, we were able to get to it. And we did go back and forth. He didn't want to give me both, but I wasn't coming off it. And he wanted Toney so much that he was willing to give up a little bit more to get that first rounder, you know, and his guy.
Yep. And like in this case too, is dynasty. So you didn't have to, you were able to stand your ground. Like, hey bro, those guys are old and they're running backs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like because you know, there's two kinds of traders. There's the ones that'll be like, just tell you what it is. And if you don't know what it is, they don't have to tell you. But then there's the other kind who will just tell you whatever that they think you want to hear. You know what I mean?
That's going to happen more often than not.
Those guys are bullshit. Like, that's the guy that spooked off of Gibson. Is like, listen, bro, I know you see and they say he's not looking good. Listen, bro, he's the man, bro. Don't even listen to none of that. Like, you know what I mean? Those fools, 9 times out of 10, like, those guys you don't want to trade with.
And let me give an example. Okay, so like we're literally I brought this trade up on Sunday, and we're going back and forth. And the dude hits me up today. So it was well, there's two different trades going out, but it's pretty much me bringing back Jonathan Taylor, sending out a first rounder, and then one of my quarterbacks and a running back. And Gibson just happened to be that running back that I threw in because I got Nick Chubb. And but I'm not gonna like. There's no point in me trading Nick Chubb and all this shit for Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
like, there's no point.
Yeah,
so there's got to be a little bit of a balance here to where if I'm giving up 4 things and I'm only bringing back 1.
Yeah, and a QB is one of them in a super flex dynasty. So there's some leverage here
for sure. And so he starts hitting me up with the Gibson news. I don't even try to force Gibson down his throat. All I said was, well, who do you want in the mix instead? Because like literally, if like me trying to force someone down someone's throat, it's not gonna fucking happen anyway. So like, if the person does not like any one of those players in the trade, get them to tell you who they want in the mix. Because like, I don't know who he wants. I'm not gonna throw out Nick Chubb, you know. So I really got to find out how he's thinking necessarily to see if we can even come to terms, you know, on this.
Yeah, because you have the leverage too at the end of the day. I mean, you don't need to do this trade. Matter of fact, if you want
I won the championship last year, and I beat this dude in the championship last year. And the reason why he lost was because of his QB depth.
Yeah. And like, you know, that's and see, here's the thing. Superflex Dynasty, if I have an abundance of QB, then I'm willing to do something, right? Because if not, it's really got to be something. The position scarcity is because you could have, like, especially if you have some good QBs. You know what I mean? Like, it's different if you have Baker Mayfield, Davis Mills, like I do as my 3 and 4, and I can't move them. And I probably can't move them because there's no one that's a truther. You know what I mean? There's no Baker Mayfield truther, or there's no Baker. You know what I mean?
I was almost going to send you Sam Darnold just so you could get him on your team, because then you might be able to actually package that duo.
Yeah, but then you know what's funny is that I know now. I mean, I can never probably make trades with you because, like, you know what I mean? Like,
you make a trade, but it's going to be when you're desperate.
Yeah, or like
not when I'm desperate.
I would have to wrap my head around Sam Darnold really has a chance here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the guy who's like,
Well,
like
see, the
Carolina
only
will trade
reason
for him.
Well, no, because my leverage would have been to you. It'll be way easier for you to make this Baker Mayfield trade that you've been trying to do. You package up both these guys,
For sure.
you for sure have the starter, and then you send them off and you get some crazy ass deal that, but you're gonna get Sam Darnold, for pennies on the dollar. Because I don't know if he's gonna start or not.
Yeah. I mean, see, I consider that, you know what I mean? And then, you know what I'm saying? That might help my cause, or at least in this case, I'd be able to move on from. I could just move Davis Mills, and then I have that locked down. Because that's came up before, where it's like I'm not willing to move. And in that league, I have Josh Allen, Tom Brady, Davis Mills, and Baker Mayfield. So I'm just real strict. I'm not coming off of my stud QBs, but
right.
And then I want to move.
We're gonna put this trade up in a second, Stativelli.
Yeah. What he's talking about in the draft he's in right now?
A specific trade in the Hustler 8 league.
Yeah.
Just a lot of shit talking going back and forth after this trade.
Nice.
So here we go. Let's just get to it.
Yeah.
It's so big that you can't even fucking. I can't. Yeah. I like having it on both sides so we can see both names and stuff. But it's Joe Flacco, Jalen Hurts, Zach Wilson, Kyle Pitts. That's who's being received by the Flash.
Okay.
And going out from the Flash, we got Kyle Allen, Colt McCoy, Kyler Murray, DK Metcalf, Davis Mills, Westbrook Kine, a 2023 4th and a 2023 6th.
So, see, the Flash is good because he just dressed up like. I'd still say at the end of the day, Kyler Murray side's the winner.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so.
But I do know that,
I mean, I want the best player in the deal. And in this entire deal, Kyler Murray's the best player.
Yeah. And I understand maybe the tandem could be better of Hurts and Wilson, but I'd still take the Judge, Davis Mills lanes and Murray. You feel me? Yeah. But also I'm in a handful of these leagues with the Flash, and I don't talk to the Flash to know how he ticks, but I do know that he has Hurts everywhere, and now just traded for him as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, and then but bravo to Flash, because I think the Flash really wanted Hurts, and I've even seen him take Zach Wilson in the 32-man league. Yep. I've seen him take, you know what I mean? He likes some Zach Wilson. I've seen him take him as a second in some of these super flex dynasties. So they basically swapped.
Swapped everything. I hate trades like this. Me personally, I would never do a trade like this unless I'm the outright winner. Unless I just feel like I'm the outright winner and I just shit all over the person who sent me.
Look at the person on the Kyler Murray side. It's like, fuck yeah, I don't, because Flash might think that he's getting them by dressing up like Westbrook Akina and all this other trash that is never going to be used, right?
Well, it comes down to, I'm not saying nobody else matters. Because Kyle Pitts matters, for sure. But Joe Flacco is nothing. Just like Colt McCoy and Kyle Allen.
He must have another high-end tight end or something, bro, because he not only gave him Pitts, he gave up picks as well as the QBs.
Because it comes down to the QB duos. That's the biggest part of this trade. Right? I know Pitts.
But he got Pitts too, so that's just, I don't know. The Flash, I've seen him pull off good ones. He pulled off one with TD, and TD basically ran himself out the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With that one, because it was that was not cutting edge. It was like a dumbass trade for Chase. And then I'm like, bravo, Flash. This one, he did it to himself. And I'm not going to clown on him or nothing like that, because sometimes you just really feel a certain way about players. Maybe he don't like Murray. Maybe, maybe he don't like the outlook for Pitts. I'd be the same way about certain things. I just traded away Stafford to bring over Wilson. And a few weeks ago, I didn't even like Wilson as another high-end QB too.
There's 6 guys in this trade that make a difference. The rest is the window dressing that just came along with it, the curtains that came along with the kitchen. It's really Jalen Hurts, Zach Wilson, Kyle Pitts for Murray, Mills, and DK Metcalf. That's this
Like,
trade for me.
It's so crazy. I mean, the DK, just that whole, like, what? Wow, Flash just really wanted to get off of them so much that he even threw in picks.
Yeah, I mean the 4th and the 6th. I mean, you're gonna come up with some nice IDP guys there,
Yeah.
you know, for sure, but probably not coming out with any elite offensive guys or any offensive guys that are even gonna make a difference on your team.
I mean, unless you're looking for the you know, like the lower draft capital running backs.
Yeah,
Like that you know, that have like I was taking a lot of Isaiah Pacheco this year. Last year,
I guess Ramondre Stevenson was one of those guys when he was a rookie that was going in the 4th round.
Yeah, last year, Rahamador, and then even for me personally, I had Eli Mitchell everywhere. You know what I mean? I was just having them. You know what I mean?
Titan said, "Don't go over mine and Bogey's trades. He fleeced me." No.
What?
Hold on. We're gonna go over.
Hold on. Some of these. Hold on. These are. Listen. I want to say it's like a dead even. It's dead even down the middle.
No.
Okay.
I have
me
two
and him
trades. I have two trades
accept.
of your. Hold on. I got 2 trades of your guys's that I need to bring up here, and it's really going to be like Titans. What the fuck are you doing over here? Okay, because Kyle Rudolph, and you trade away Huntley. So Titans gets Rudolph. You get Huntley.
Hold on. No, that one. It wasn't what we were talking about. So that one had to be
I know, but this is what I'm talking about. Hold on. This is what I'm talking about. Because Titans, what the fuck are you doing over here? So you trade away Huntley, you bring away.
No, I had Huntley. That's what I'm saying. It was supposed to get reversed.
No. This was was this the messed up trade?
Yeah, and it never got reversed because we're all
right. I remember. Okay, all right, I remember.
Yeah.
All right, let me take those 2 away because I was
those didn't make sense. We needed commissioner help there. I was supposed to click I clicked off the wrong player and left Rudolph in there, and then he accepted it. I was like, oh shit, because that one went weird. Either way, that one.
Okay, all right. That was the messed up one. All right, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, but what other trade was it? Let's hear it.
Okay. I mean, we got busy in the 16.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, we can go down like a timeline. Like that was the first big one.
Did you guys do one in? Because
we did a few in the 14.
I got a few of these, and or at least on here right now. Some with Titans, but none with you. I didn't see. I guess I didn't scroll back far enough.
I mean, Titans been mad busy, and so have I though. We've all been getting busy. I like it. People's just going crazy in the chat post. I'm like, everybody's on the block, even though I'm just typing that motherfucker. I feel like when people read it, they can hear me yelling. Everybody's on the block. This is not a drill. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, everybody just starts posting different players on the block. I'm like, yeah, let's get some fucking action going, lad. I fucking love that shit.
You guys are savages. That's all I'm going to say. Because all these trades I just kept seeing, I just kept laughing, because a lot of them are trades just to trade where there's,
hell no, these are blockbuster trades. What are you talking?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Look, okay. Yeah. You're telling me.
Well, the ones that I'm involved in.
Okay, look. So here's Bernie Mac. And so this is in the Hustler 14. Jamar Chase for Debo and Pittman.
That happened?
Yes.
Wow. So Bernie Mac brought over Chase. He's smart.
Yeah. Is he? I'd rather have Michael Pittman and Debo.
I'd rather have Chase.
I would. Well,
okay. How about this?
It makes you a little bit top heavier, but come on, how much?
Yeah, but there's not a big difference. You know what? I'm gonna switch my answer. I'm gonna go with you. I think I'd rather have, because me, I love to consolidate down. That's why I snap called that. I was like, hell yeah, I'll be the Chase side. But you know what?
See, that's the emotion of it.
But I don't think. But here's another thing: is I don't think if I drafted Chase, I would sell him like that. You know what I mean?
Well, no, neither would I.
I would buy him like that though.
Right. I'm never gonna come off a Chase or Cup, or if I'm contending, I'm riding it, but this is a move for stick stunts. Getting Debo and Pittman for Chase, that's the only way that I would.
You know what it is too, right? You know what it is?
What?
We're in me versus him week 1. We're in a fucking arms race. He saw me making like 3, 4, 5, 6 trades in the last week and a half, and then he comes out in the chat. He goes, man, I felt good about my chances a couple days ago. You know what I mean? And he's I gotta make some moves. And the kid, the first move he made was with Titans. I had been making a couple moves with Titans. He does something peculiar though, Sticks. He sends Devontae Parker and Mac Jones, and he buys Tyreek Hill. I didn't think it was peculiar, that part. But the part was like both sides. Like I felt like if you were able to get Mac Jones for your Tyreek Hill plus, Mac Jones plus for your Tyreek Hill, I would, if I was Titans, I would ask for more.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't care.
There's been so many damn trades that I should have had like I should have like posted it out there or something to like everyone send me the trades or something, or if anyone remembers any trades in any specific league.
Here's the thing though. Here's why that's dangerous is because me personally, I don't want people to get scared off of what they like to do, because you know what I'm saying? That might like dwindle the trades down. You know what I'm saying? Like now, all of a sudden, people are scared to make trades because they think like, you know, they're doing it to themselves. Like for example, make Max Crosby for Antonio Gibson. See, normally in a redraft league, and especially in any leagues I'm in, we wouldn't allow that. You're like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, this dynasty, people, it's different. You know what I mean? I mean, people build their teams how they want to build, but it's not like that one is one of those ones where it's like, well, I mean, I guess it's overreactionary because it is, but at the same time too, it's like, hey, what if Antonio Gibson does lose the job and is just a backup, and and Brian Robinson never gets hurt, right? Right. And in hindsight, he would have been right, even if Max Crosby was just a guy who he just was able to start. Like if he wasn't able to start Gibson, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
sure.
You
just never know. So there's, you know what I'm saying? You just never fucking know until hindsight.
And even this one, you know, the way that I think about it, I mean, even in our crazy ass leagues, you know, like in these hustler leagues, let me see what Chase scored last year. Because it's not.
Damn, I have to go up against this guy. Now he has Debo and Pittman. Son of a bitch.
So let's see. So last year in this league, let me see. Shit, where the hell is
he? Got Debo and Pittman.
That's pretty nasty.
Because here's the thing: is like Pittman is like, you know, like I was just down the Heart to Start last night. They have him as a back in WR1. Like the fact that people view him like that, he got thrown in as like a throw-in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like a strong throw-in. You know what I mean? Like
so here it is in these hustler leagues last year. Chase scored 437 points.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Debo scored higher. You know, let's say Debo does take this crazy regression that everyone's talking about. I mean, what's he going to regress to? 350 or something like that? Like, even though Chase, like, he could improve. I mean, I'm not saying that he can't, but I mean, he's got to go over 1,400 yards. I mean, you know, he's got to do a lot of things to improve. And I just feel like there's no chance, there's no way in hell, barring injury, that Debo and Pittman don't outscore Chase.
Yeah, just based on that, then Sticks wins. God damn it, I'm playing a week one. It's a fucking arms race. I like that I can that I cause things like this.
Oh yeah, you definitely made a lot of shit happen. Here's another one that happened recently. This was also in the 14. That's the one where shit's just been going wild. And this was Titans bringing back Malik Willis and a third rounder, but giving up Buda Baker and Rashad Penny. This is a super flex QB.
Hey,
premium
shit,
QB.
Good shit, kid. Hey, Titans did his thing there. He needs QBs. He has it set in his mind that he needs QBs. The fact that he's been able to accumulate 2 QBs, even though Malik Willis isn't a starter, he's a Titans fan, so I know he feels the way, right? Mm-hmm. But like, bravo to him, because now he's not in like a dilly of a pickle. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I don't think Malik Willis does any starting this year, but
I know, but I'm just saying, no, this is
for the future,
right? Yeah. Like, I mean, they can move on from Tannehill next season. You know what I mean? Like they could trade him to I mean, there's scenarios here.
Yep. And let's see. Here was another one that we had. Bear down, bitch, and Big Tons in the mix. And so this was, let me see. So Bear Down traded away Chase Edmonds, Nyheim Hines, and a first rounder, and then received a first and a second rounder.
I guess.
I mean, it's having confidence that you're going to have like a really low first round pick, I guess, and that the other person's team is going to suck.
I mean, you're basically just giving up Chase Edmonds. That's nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, what else is it? Chase Edmonds and
Chase Edmonds and Nyheim Hines.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get the baby up out this thing real quick. Hi, babe.
Let's see, and let me go look for a couple other of these trades. And Titan said, "Yeah, I trade myself out of contention. I'm known for it. You're savage." Ha! And what up, Duke Crew? He said, if I sent anyone in here any trade, send some counters. Pruitt 269. And let's see. Let me look through here, see if there's any other trade. Because I know there are some big time trades worth talking about here, but kind of have no idea where some of these ones are. Let me see. Yeah, that's one thing I wish it was a little bit easier on the desktop to get to the trades like real quick, because I mean we can get here, we can get to the trades, and it takes a little bit. But let me see. Let's see some other ones that we had. Couple days ago in the Hustler 16 league, we had Dak Prescott, Leonard Fournette.
I'm gonna change his diaper real quick. I'll be
All right, sounds good. So we had Prescott, Lenny Fournette, and Leo Chenal outgoing, and then coming back, Dalvin Cook, Justin Fields, a 6th and a 7th rounder. Kind of crazy because just big guys going, on both sides. One of the guys gets a little stronger at QB, and this is Zoo Crew. And then another guy getting a little stronger at running back. Yeah, and Leo Chenal kind of looks like a throw in there or whatever. Let's see, who else do we have? Here we go. Here's Titans and Bogey's trade in the 16. So Titans gets Trey Sermon, Jalen Tolbert, Trey Burks, and Bogey gets Marlon Mack, Debo Samuel, and who is that? Juwan Jennings, Jay Jennings on San Fran. So pretty much Debo for Tolbert and Burks. I mean, Sermon's kind of like the throw in. Titans? That was the one where he said Bogey fleeced you, huh? And it said League 14 was the blockbuster between Bogey and I. Let me get over to that. Let's go check this out. Here we go. Where is it? Oh, here we go. All right. See, yeah, there were so many trades that I just didn't even go back far enough. But yeah, we got 2 trades by Titans. This trade was the first one. This was him and Bogey. Bogey gets Cooper Kupp, Micah Parsons, and then Davis Price. And then Titans gets a first rounder, AJ Brown, Khalil Herbert, Sky Moore, and Harold Landry, and then another defender. I mean, I know that you were in rebuilding mode, Titans, because you were taking over someone else's squad. And then right after that, makes another trade where trades away Tyreek Hill and a 6th rounder, brings back Mac Jones and Devontae Parker. I mean, Mac Jones, I know that's going to be huge for the team. But, man, it was just so crazy. I mean, coming up off of Cooper Kupp and Tyreek Hill. And, you do still have A.J. Brown. But, yeah, that was, a little bit crazy for me. Not going to lie, to see some back-to-back trades, like that. And let's see if there's any other trades here worth talking about. Man, see the Flash. Here's another one in the Hustler 13. The Flash gets Jamar Chase and Ramondre Stevenson. trades away Jared Goff, Wan'Dale Robinson, James Cook, Voluce Jones, and then Kyle Hamilton. So coming off a bunch of big big name young guys, you know, at least, but kind of crazy there. All right. And let me see. And you know what? We may be done. We may be done with the show. We'll see how long it takes Bogey to get back here. But I think we gave a lot of philosophies, you know, in this show. We recap some. And I mean, maybe this is something that, you know, we need to get going on a normal basis. Like guys we would trade for, guys we would trade away. Because like, honestly, like, with the overreaction season going right now, I'm really gonna trade for keep trying to trade for Antonio Gibson. If like people hate him that much, like trade a 4th rounder or something for him. Like trade nothing for him. Like if people really think that he is gonna flop like flat on his face and like not play anymore in the NFL, I mean, I don't think that that's the case. So I'm not saying, you know, go trade away a whole bunch of stuff, you know, for him. But if any, especially in Dynasty, redraft, I mean, is great though, because you could do this on a week-to-week basis, you know, in redraft. We haven't even done a lot of these drafts yet. So it's tough to talk about redraft trades when we literally haven't even started, you know, drafting yet. But yeah, in Dynasty, if someone really hates one of these players, just send a bunch of offers, man. Like just keep doing it. What up, John? He said, I have Chubb and DK right now. I was offered Devontae Adams for them. Would you do it? It's a redraft league. Probably not, just because I value Chubb a little bit higher than Adams by himself. It's super close though. I mean, because you're talking top tier. I mean, Adams is more of a top tier wide receiver than Chubb, a top tier running back, but I still feel like Chubb is just so reliable that I wouldn't even do it. I'm not saying I would trade away Adams for Chubb or DK either. I would probably just hold on to Adams, but nah, I wouldn't come off of Chubb and DK for Adams. I wouldn't. What up, Niner MMA? What's going down, homie? Let's smoke it up. And Bogey back in the building. Daddy takes their duty's call.
Hey, shout out to Niner MMA, man. You know what I mean? He out here. He not that far from me. He probably like 40 minutes south of me.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Big up.
I mean, when it comes to these redraft trades, the recency bias is a thing. Like one thing that I will always try to do in these redraft leagues, because I'm a waiver wire monster, you know, you got to be, and I'm always gonna try to pick up, you know, these the darling running backs, you know, like these 2nd and 3rd stringers who end up being starters. They may not even be starters for the entire season. Take those guys, package them up for players, get a little bit top heavy, you know, keep picking up these pieces that are super, super valuable to
you see how I rock? That's the move right there. Get top heavy and then play the waiver wire still. You know what I mean?
In redraft, that's how I'm doing it. In Dynasty, I'm not doing that philosophy, but in I really feel like no matter what, like really just knowing that you don't have to make a trade at any time. If you just put that in your mind, it makes you negotiate a lot better.
You know what's crazy too is I like being on either side of the trade where like I'll move something. I'll move a haul for you know, a top dog, and then, you know what I'm saying, or I'll move a top dog for a haul. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's like get a useful haul. So, you know what I mean? Like the one that it was really just DK, Kyler Murray, and Davis Mills, Kyle Pitts. All those extra shit was just extra shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was just, you know what I mean? That was real window dressing. Like you didn't need none of that extra shit. You know what I mean? But it's like, you know, that person will hit accept with all that in there just because. It's like, all right, yeah. You know what I mean?
Nice. Titan said, I got my bling bling. There you go. Finally got it. It said, holler at me next time you stream. I'll show it off for you. I like it.
Nice.
Got to show off.
I don't know what I just did with mine when I was changing her diaper. Let me make sure I didn't leave it in the baby's diaper or something. Let me go check.
we just got to rock it, man. I mean, that's what it's all about. Just showing off. Showing off the gold.
See, you know what's dope is like I won a good amount of titles last year, but that there's one. I got a couple pieces of hardware. One's a belt that's been going around. Hey, what y'all fighting about?
It's about to get serious. Titan said, "Shoot him the link." I got something to say to Bogey.
All of a sudden,
here we go. I shot you the link, Steven. I sent it as a text.
Yeah, I wonder what he got to say to little old me.
I want to hear it. And Sir Bong's a lot. Let's smoke it up.
The couch?
Yeah. Baby. Yeah.
Hey.
Whoa.
It's ripping. You're ripping the couch right there, dude. Look it. There's already a holder.
But in Dynasty, to me, a fast trade is a bad trade. If there's no back and forth, that means someone's either crazy for what they sent you, that it was good enough to accept right away without a counter offer, or that means that the trade that you sent was so bad on your end that they accepted it right away.
Yeah, I mean, I like to believe that I'm gonna send something that is useful to somebody. You know what I mean? You really got to be a hell of a salesman then if you're gonna send some garbage at somebody and get something useful out of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like let's just duly note that for anybody who's sending out trade offers. I can't stand it when a motherfucker will send me like he wants not just one.
You know what? I just thought of it right this second. One of the things about you with your calculated trades, you're actually sending things to like team specific trades.
Yeah, to that team.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who just go after players. That's also the wrong thing to do. I'm not saying you can't go after players that you like, but if you just want to get Cooper Kupp just to get them and you don't even fucking look at the team to know what they need or anything like that trade's never going to go anywhere.
And me and Titans, maybe we'll wait till Titans gets on because I'm curious to see what he has to say because we made 2 back-to-back massive trades where I sent
2 separate leagues, right?
Yeah, in the 14. We did one in the 16, but in the 14, we did one like 2 in a day. It was like, you know what I mean? Because like it was one of those ones where I was like, damn, I was so excited when he countered me that that he was the players that we were talking about never got changed. You know what I mean? Right. Just little specifics got changed. And I was like, wow, now the ball's in my court just to hit accept here. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And I did it. Then I started thinking, dang, I probably could have had him throw in some IDPs. Then in true Bogart fashion, I'm like, I got to go back to the well now. I need to get one of these IDPs. Yeah. But I'm not just going to try to get like one of these IDPs. I'm gonna hit him with a massive package deal. And I'm going to go after Kupp also. You know what I mean? And like once he started giving me some action, I was like, okay, we might actually get something done here. You know what I mean?
Hey, I sent you the link, Steven. Hop on. He said the trades Bogey's been sending me for Gabe Davis. And I mean, that one was a phenomenal trade. Like that was so hard for me. Like he been trying to come after Gabe Davis since the draft. I mean, not since the draft, since the day he got in there. Picked up this team. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. So like, you know what I mean? Like that one was tough, but I mean, that's another one where it's like I dressed it up with a bunch of high-end pieces. And he was dangling Harris. You know what I mean? Like it was one of those, you know what I mean? Like you can't just go after Harris and expect like that dude bought Jamar Chase for kind of cheap, to be honest. Yeah. If I have Jamar Chase, I'm probably asking for more. Yeah. Probably won't get more. Because I know that person doesn't like Debo.
Exactly. I'm like, why are you getting Debo? And then I can make a case against both of them. I don't know if I want him, Debo, if he don't carry the ball. It's Trey Lance now. He's going to stretch the field, blah, blah, XYZ. I can do the same thing for Pittman. Oh, people say he's going to break out. He technically already broke out last year, 1,000 yards. Was he a WR2 maybe? So you know what I mean? I don't want that. I have Chase. Like I can make a case. Then I'll be like, but if you throw in so-and-so, and then I'll start adding too. Like, you know what? Throw in so-and-so. I want a third high-end piece then. You know what I mean? Then I'll throw you. So I'm trying to get how do you say it? The 3 50-cent pieces for like the $1.50. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Titans, I sent it. I texted it to you. I don't have. I texted it to you. I don't have. I can't use Messenger. I'm still in trouble over there.
For real?
Yeah, because someone came into my DMs talking shit, and then I talked mad shit back to them, and then they reported me to Facebook, so I got a 24-hour ban.
Damn, hey, you gotta watch out, man. These motherfuckers are trying to bait you, bruh.
Yeah.
And especially these motherfuckers that are coming there trying to talk all this woo wop 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 money shit. You feel me? You gotta watch out for them motherfuckers too, because they ain't even about no money half the time. They just want to get somebody in trouble because they hating on the motherfucker getting money, b.
Yep. Yeah, we had to do some spring cleaning in the group.
You know what though? Here's one thing that I'm gonna I want to ask Titans why he came in this mindset, because when he adopted his team, this team was like, it was top heavy in every position, zero depth. I mean, top heavy every position but QB, and it was zero depth at all the skill positions, but they were all top heavy. You know what I mean? Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp. You know what I mean? Najee Harris, DeAndre Swift. You know what I'm saying? Then that's pretty much it for the skill guys. You know what I mean? So I understood what he was doing. But one thing was like, when he came in there of the mindset, like, I'm in rebuild mode. And when he see me coming after Harris or coming after Cooper Kupp and and giving them needs because he had these glaring holes. So I was going to attack that. But here's the thing is that, like, he had the mindset that he's rebuilding.
Yeah.
So I'm like, word. Because I didn't think that, I mean, maybe one or two moves he's in there. He's competing. I didn't understand why he thought he was going to explode the whole thing up and rebuild. So I'm like, okay, let the word, you know what I mean? Let's rebuild. You know what I mean? I'm like, let's go shopping. You know what I mean?
And Steven, I fucking texted you because I see, he says, I'm checking my text and I don't see it. Send it on Sleeper. All right, you motherfucker. I know it's your text because I got all your league fees in there. You send it with Apple Pay. So all I got is like, all the messages with all the fucking league fees. I'll send it on Sleeper. All right, where the hell?
But here's another thing too, is like, I mean, if he had a plan, which I think he does, he's executing his plan. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I love it because once I know Titans, he gets active. So once he picked up that team, we started getting active. I was already getting active prior to that with Guccini. He was one of the only other active guys for real in this league. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, like, because I'm in other leagues with Guccini, so I know he keeps it lit. So and then me and
Guccini made the first big blockbuster trade of this draft.
You know what I'm saying? And then, like, see, the reason I was able to make some of these trades too, and then now my team looks like I traded up, which is funny because I traded down a bunch. And then, like, was able to get these depth pieces to trade up, which is, in hindsight, kind of makes no sense. But it was a ton of fun.
All right, here we go. Titans is in the building. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I just wanted to show Bogey what it's like to win the best ball tournament.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, man. I wouldn't know about it, so you got. I love it. Hopefully, I get to feel the joy. I got me one too. You know what I'm saying?
You was talking about the trades and everything. I mean, yeah, I was top heavy, but a lot of my players are old, except for maybe TJ and Parsons and Najee. But
I mean,
unlike y'all, I'm not a big Najee fan. I don't like Najee at all. So I mean, and that's just personal preference on my end. Has nothing to do with any of y'all, but that's just how I am. And so I didn't really want him. So, and I really like Akers. I watched him a lot in college, and I think he's going to be really good. I think he's going to be really good. So,
and you know what? There was another league where SD Riders came in, took over a team, and traded away Cup right away for like a huge haul.
That was
I had
he traded me. That was to me.
Daniel Jones and Davis Mills is my starting quarterbacks, and quarterbacks in that league is the biggest point grabbers. I mean,
yeah, you could have the best team if your quarterback.
You can have the best league or the best team in the league, and if you ain't got no quarterbacks, you're going to lose week in, week out. So I just started trying to get younger guys in there that I knew I was going to have to rebuild to get the quarterbacks I needed.
Who did you move Buddha to? What team was that got Buddha?
I don't even remember now.
Okay, I'll check it out later. Because you know what was funny too? I was like, man, like the way we want, the guy that used to have that team, this is a guy that his philosophy was like he wanted to be the first to pop off every run. So he kept thinking he was going to pop off this IDP run that never came. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like he's missing. And then meanwhile, the run that he should have been on was the QB run. You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
if you looked at the IDPs on the team, he had TJ Watt and
Leonard,
Parsons, and then backing up, he had Leonard, which is going to miss a majority of the season, it sounded like, to back them up. And so, I mean, there was really no depth at all. And now I'm pretty deep in my IDP, I feel like, anyways.
The guy who used to have this team, I remember we were on a mock draft, and for some reason we had kickers because we were just doing like a super play.
And he pulled up the kicker in like the 8th round.
Yeah, it was. Well, whatever. I don't think
it was TD. I'll say it.
It was super early. It wasn't the 8th. It might have been like the 10th. And I was like, "Why the fuck did you do that?" He's like, "Well, I got to treat my kickers like I treat my women. I got to be the first up in there. I can't be getting no sloppy seconds."
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, that's the stupidest philosophy I ever heard, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's like this guy better, you better go find yourself a virgin, bro.
If you look behind Cooper Kupp and Tyreek Hill, there was nothing behind there either. It was just and and then on top of that, no quarterback. I mean,
hey, when you look behind Cooper Kupp and Tyreek Hill, a little tumbleweed went by.
I mean, it's, taking guys like TJ Watt and Micah Parsons like multiple rounds before they should have went. Like, that's what it was. They just like, he wanted to create the run. It didn't happen. He doubled down on it the next round, and still no defenders were taken for like two rounds.
And look, I was right before him or after him in the draft, depending on which direction we're going. So we're going where he's before me, and it's like, I don't know, 11th round maybe. And I'm like, hey, bro, I'm going to take Davis Mills as my 4th QB here. I'm just letting you know. And then he took Davis Mills. And then I had a good laugh because I wasn't going to take him. It was just like, this guy, he probably thought, I can keep letting it fall.
Yeah, I had Joe Flacco. My backup quarterback was Joe Flacco.
But, you know what I'm saying? It was just funny because like
I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
In the 5th, 6th, and 7th was when he took Parsons, Leonard, and TJ Watt back to back to back. Nobody even drafted a defensive player until the 8th round.
Yeah.
Like, so he was just that. I mean, he was that.
I think that was what you took Roquan there in the 8th round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like at the end of the 8th round. Yeah. Pretty much.
As backup quarterbacks to them, he had Joe Flacco and Tyrod Taylor. I mean.
Another one of his philosophies.
And Kyle Trask.
He had 4 defenders on his team before he had a quarterback.
I mean, it's not any good.
No, that's not cutting edge.
That's not cutting edge.
No, because quarterbacks literally score the most, and they're the most valuable in a league.
I told that guy too that I bet you won't come back to these leagues. When I was talking shit to him, I was like, I bet you don't come back. Look at your teams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, and then in the 7th, there's another team where that Lee took over, and that team was mad decent. Yeah. And it got mad decent because he stole a trade of mine. I was telling him, I was on the phone with him. He's about to come on my show. We're killing like 10 minutes before showtime. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm on the clock. He calls me because I'm on the clock in a slow draft. It was round 1, 103. And then I'm like, oh shit, I got all these trade offers. And I'm like, shit, someone's trying to give me Devontae Adams. I might do this. He's like, someone's trying to give you Devontae? Oh, you know what? I'll send you a pick. I'll send you a trade for that pick. I'm like, oh, word, send it to me. Then I just see on my screen, boop, he traded for Devontae Adams. I'm like, this son of a bitch. And he was 2 picks behind me. So he just went and just offered his 105 or whatever it was. You know what I mean?
Going with that comment right there that Kingston Pruitt put out.
The Zoo Crew. Pruitt.
Like last night, somebody was asking me for a backup quarterback in a league, and I told him send me an offer and we'll go from there. And he goes Will Fuller for Tyler Huntley, and I was like,
"That's the Texas man. Is that the Texican?"
Yeah.
That guy's
And then
an idiot, dude.
as soon as I seen it, it made me mad, and I was like, well, screw this guy. So I sent him a trade for Jerry Jeudy for Tyler Huntley, and he told me I was crazy because you just traded him to me for Trey Sermon.
Yeah.
Well, you send me stupid trades, I send them back to you.
See, I like that. See, and you know what's crazy, Titans? You know why me and you get shit done? Because we're straightforward. Like when we're having trade talks, it's like, hey, you know what I mean? We have the back and forth, and we talk about the shit. Some people they lay in the cut. They send an offer out, and they don't communicate nothing. You might send an offer back, and then they never.
Well, a lot of people are not degenerates like us, and they only check their app like once, maybe twice a day when the draft is over. So, and they don't check it until the weekend. So it's hard to get any deals done over that amount of time. Whenever, and if you send something, they just reject and don't counter back.
I still every time we talk about trades or anything like that, I got to bring up the one and only trade that me and Bogey were able to
I knew you were gonna bring it up.
I gotta do it because like that's the only way. Like there's certain people who you may not be able to trade with, but week to week, like games and people not wanting to lose because of an injury or because of COVID, someone being out, shit gets real. And Bogey's favorite player, Racist Rudolph. He's a free agent. I end up picking him up, and because Big Ben gets COVID.
And ironically, I had dropped him like maybe weeks prior to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You said you didn't want any racist people on your team. Uh-oh.
My bad.
He said he didn't want any racist people.
Hey, let me call you back.
All right. So he gets rid of Rudolph, and then Big Ben gets COVID, and that we're talking like if Bogey loses one more game, he's out of playoff contention. So like literally every single week means everything. It's his season, and Big Ben he gets COVID, and he's already super weak at QB. I think he only had one other QB besides that. And so of course I pick up Rudolph. Whatever Bogey's budget was on Fab, I just spent $1 more because I knew he was going to go for him. And but I had more of a budget as well, so I just spent that $1 more. And then I'm hitting him up like as we're like getting ready, like getting on the show and like all that. And hitting him up. I'm like, man, I know you need Rudolph. Now's the time, 3rd rounder. And he's like, no, man, fuck that. And then he sends me back a 6th rounder. And I just stuck to the guns and I sent it back. Rudolph, 3rd rounder. And then he sends it back and it's like a 5th rounder for Rudolph. So he like already came up around. And then I send it back and it was a 3rd rounder for Rudolph again, just sticking with the same exact trade. And then he's like, nope, not gonna do it. And then he sends back the 4th rounder. And this time, just because he had to know that I was serious, I change it from a 3rd rounder to a 2nd rounder. So he kept going higher, but I didn't like it. So this was like the last one. It was like, all right, take this one or you don't get it all. And then he sends me back the 3rd rounder for Mason Rudolph. And it didn't work out for him, but it was
Mason Rudolph stuck it up.
Yep, and he knew that it was going to happen too, but that's how important it was. He had no other options. Up shit's creek without a paddle at the QB position.
Well, I don't know why me and Bogey had such a hard time trading last year, but it just seemed like we could get a deal done. And
I know why.
This year the dams have broken. We've we've become best buds.
Well, I know what it was though last year. It was you got scorned for making trades with me because like literally within the hour that you traded for Gus Bus, he died. You know what I'm saying? He tore the ACL and he was like, he swore like I was a sorcerer. He was like, it's black magic. He's like, how did he know? I'm like, I didn't fucking know. But what's crazy is like
that's why I traded all the old guys to you this time. I'm hoping to have to see you.
It was crazy, dude. I mean, I'll take the old dudes that are playing. See, here's another thing too. It's like one thing in fantasy, it's for dynasty specific. I be forgetting like a lot of times, like, man, I'm trying to win this year. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
I mean, forget. I'm like, yo, this dude's gonna be so dope next year.
Ooh, and
like, I'm
Bogey's
like,
on the clock in the
you know what I
32
mean?
teamer.
Oh, I'm on the clock.
Yep.
Okay, I think I have hella players queued up. I sat there last night, like, let me just. I don't want to sit there stuck, but I'm on the phone. You know what? I'll be back. Let me make my pick real quick.
There we go. And then we'll just get him to talk about what he thought after that whole trade process, because I don't think he was expecting me to send back and like ask for more than I was already asking for the entire time. I thought he was just trying to work it until we got down to the third. Then also just had to fuck with him to make sure that like he sent me the trade this time that I could hit accept versus the other way around.
I kind of did the same thing to him, and I think it was 16. He really wanted a pick because he thought somebody was going to snipe his player, and he kept wanting to do the 2 for 2 pick, and I kept sending him back a 2 for 1 pick, and we went back and forth like I think we countered each other like 10 times, and I finally sent him a message and was like, hey, I don't care to move off this pick. I have a player I want to pick. I said, but if you want this pick, you're going to pay 2 picks for it. And we ended up trading and stuck to my guns on it. But sometimes you just have to stick to your guns and see and see what happens.
Scenario, you didn't have to trade. Like, it's not like having that pick isn't a luxury, for you necessarily. It's just the pick that you have, and that pick is worth something. And it was worth more to Bogey than it was worth to you. That's why he was able to come off of 2 picks.
I mean, he was only moving up, I think, like 5 spots or something like that. So, and my player ended up being there anyway. So, it worked out for me.
There you go.
Because you know me, I pick players way above where they're supposed to
go. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Dynasty, with the drafts, I'm all about trading, but I kind of only want to trade down now. Like, I mean, I think there's times to like trade up, but I don't know. Just from my experience with everything, it just seems like trading down always ends up working out better than trading up, unless you really, really, really hit on that player that you get.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Because a lot of times you're getting multiple players, for that player. Like, I mean, the first round, it's my goal in like all these drafts to kind of just move out of the first round. Yeah, because some people, I mean, it might be worth it more than others, to jump up. But man, if you can get
like last year you traded up with me in the first round and took Lamar and
Dak. Yeah, and it was me. It was a lot of it was I hadn't done that in any of the dynasties, and I was like, all right, I got to do it. I got to get 2 first-round picks, and then I end up getting like the 2 picks that are in front of Stu. And like, and the whole time I'm like, Stu, come on, man. I know you want Dak. I'm about to pick him. Let's swap first and give me something else, and he's yours. And and it was, and like I felt
he sent you like 30 picks for 30 picks.
No, he wouldn't even do it. Like he wouldn't. He wasn't buying into it. He didn't want to overpay for Dak, and he ended up getting Herbert. So he ended up being right for sticking to his guns, because it was like I had to pick Dak at that point, and like I still kept trying to trade him, but he was so happy with Herbert it didn't matter anyways. But that's just a funny story with me and Stu. I was really, really, really trying to get him to trade just to move up 1 spot, and he wouldn't do it. I picked Dak. I got Lamar and Dak, and my team is like, it's top heavy. But I had to make other moves to be able to, because like my running back game was weak. I ended up, I think, losing in the first round of the playoffs because of.
Well, you lost Lamar for a good portion of the year too.
Yeah, for sure. So it was like the mojo of my team was just on the decline, and but then having the guy who wants Tony, I was able to trade away Tony in the first and bring back Fournette and Connor. And so now my team is looking, looking like it's ready to compete for a championship this year.
And that guy's an idiot. Oh, that was TV, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And, so Bogey, we got to go back to the trade that me and you made.
Yeah, man. The only time he's ever going to be able to get me on any trade now, I've noticed, is because I'll never. First of all, I'll never be able to get him in any trade talks with me if I'm trying to hold court. But the fact that we made a trade is because he's holding court with all the leverage. Because I'm trying to fight for my playoff appearance. I'm trying to curve an L. Because if I take one more L, I'm out of playoff contention. And I'm coming off like a 3-week stretch where I'm winning. Because I'm coming off of like 3 weeks losing prior to that. You know what I mean? So it's like week 7 or 8, whatever week it was. Whatever week it was, the Detroit Lions played the Steelers, right? And here's racist Rudolph. He's getting a job because of stupid COVID for Big Ben Rapistburger. So now I got to go from the rapist to the goddamn racist. And then on top of all that, I'm like just trying to do normal things like, hey, here's a 6th rounder, call it a day, huh? Let's go. What say you? And he's like, nah, 3rd. I'm like, nah, fuck. I'm like, the fuck? You know what I mean? You know what? Running out of time here, man. Let's go ahead with the 5th. And he's like, nah, let's go 3rd. You know what I mean? And this goes on until I'm like, okay, 4th. And he's like, well, how about 2nd then? And I'm like, ugh. And we have like 10 minutes left, bro. We got like 10 minutes till kickoff. You know what I mean? So it happened. And then with that third round pick, you drafted Quay Walker. Fuck him. I'm mad about that shit.
Yeah, that was nice. Because at least with mine, I made sure to turn that 3rd round pick into a nice player who could be a starter on my IDP squad potentially this year. And if we go back to like the pick that was traded away by me in that other league, let me see. I think he picked up. Who did he pick up?
Damn it! I pick up the baby, and she just gets all my necklaces all tangled up.
And yeah, Christian Watson, I think was who he picked up with his 1st round pick.
And that was a dumb 1st round pick. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other players who could have been picked, in that round. I mean, shit, Dameon Pierce didn't even go until he went away round later. Yeah.
See, and that's what's funny about the actual draft is because, like, Dameon Pierce.
Titans got some action. Guccini said, just sent you a QB, Titans.
Yeah. Everybody's like, Titans, the store is open. He's like.
I'm going to go see what QBs I got in that league.
Everybody can fleece Titans. Let's go.
I mean, there's no fleecing if it's QBs involved. Those are the highest scoring players in the league. And definitely the most valuable. Damn it. See, I think I already looked at this. And I got 3 QBs, and that's it. Yeah, I don't even have a rookie QB. Yeah, see, that's what sucks in this too, because like I don't want to cut off my nose to spite my face.
Yeah.
And
no, I think I'm gonna hang out with the QBs I've got now. I know I'm not gonna be in contention this year, but I mean, I've got 2 rookie QBs now, and the way Trask is looking at Tampa Bay, he might take over for Brady whenever Brady leaves.
Yeah.
And got Mac Jones too, so maybe I'll recoup some of that here next year when everybody else is needing quarterback.
Maybe they trade for Tannehill. Maybe I mean there's all it's so funny, like what can happen
when Aaron Rodgers retires and Brady retires and Kirk Cousins retires.
Yeah. I mean Kirk Cousins is gonna be around for a while. That guy, for what it's worth, he's hella durable. Now I might have just cursed him. He's gonna die now. I mean, but like, can you tell me outside of him, he has COVID right now. That's the 3rd time he's had COVID, right? Outside of that, you never seen him miss any games for real. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even Russell Wilson barely missed some time until last year. You know what I mean? He was like an Iron Man. It's kind of crazy. But Kirk Cousins, it makes sense because he's a statue guy. You know, he throws the ball away. He's pretty safe. You know what I mean? He's not out there running around, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I mean, I think, like, you know, the 40-year-old QB, it might not be as far-fetched, but this is the generation of it. You know what I mean? Because the mobile QBs, those guys, I give them like 10 years, bro. At most. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then someone younger and faster, if they're looking for a mobile guy, he'll replace him. You know what I mean? And that's what the league's going to. Look, even Tannehill, you know, he was known to get like a little mobile back in his time. You know what I mean? They go ahead and, you know, but now, you know what I'm saying, once they pay him, they're like, okay, and all their running goes through Henry. But now they want to duel. They want to duel with mobile QBs like everybody else, with Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray and Jalen Hurts, and you know what I'm saying? Then you have the mobile as the guys that can get mobile, like, you know, Russell Wilson, you know, Patrick Mahomes, and all those guys, you know, they only use it as a luxury because that's what extends their career. You know what I mean? Josh Allen, someone's like, he really got to find a nice balance, because if not, he just got to be always big and dominant over everyone, or he's going to get hurt. You know what I mean? It's just how it happens. Cam Newton, good thing he was big and gigantic and dominant for so long. You know what I'm saying? Or else, like, you know, and then over time, you get held too many chinks in the armor, and then, you know what I'm saying? Then you just don't look the same. Lamar Jackson, look what he did, and Jalen Hurts in the offseason. Lamar Jackson more so is noticeable, but like they wouldn't beefed up. You know what I mean? They're like,
Lamar Jackson looks like a freight train.
He looks yoked, bro. You know what I mean? Jalen Hurts, I mean, you know, he said they put on about 15 pounds of muscle. You know what I mean? But, you know, I mean, you can't really tell. But yeah, with Lamar, he just looks yoked, bro.
Yeah, but they went out and added a whole bunch of weapons, too, for Lamar, too. Or not Lamar, Hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, shit, A.J. Brown. It's so crazy. My 1-year-old, she's the only one. All the other kids can never figure out how to open a cabinet. She knows how to open it and go straight for the snacks. I'm like, this fool's. She's the smartest.
It's because she sees you eating all the time.
Real talk. She's like that. She's like, this is how Dad does it right here.
I'm waiting on that trade from Hustler. He's looking at his phone.
Nah.
Like he's fixing to trade me.
What'd you say? I want to know what you said.
Well, I mean, now it's not going to be for a QB, so I got to, like you said, so now we got to figure out something else. So what we're going to have to do here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you in the 14, you actually had 14.
I know you want some TJ Watt.
Yeah, I know he's going to be expensive, though. My defense is pretty nasty in this one already, too.
I mean, like, it's so crazy how I make one move to get Parsons, but then now and just so I can have a cheat code in my DL spot in one of them. But my second DL has Grady Jarrett in it now. You know what I mean? It's not any good. You know what I mean? Gotta do what you gotta do.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I sent him like Harold Landry and I sent him a cat from the Bucks. I'm really big on a Shokan Toyan Shokanya or whatever. But like, yeah, and it's like, damn, those are really the only guys I had in that slot. Hey,
that's
just
basically the only guys. That's basically the only guys I target in those areas. I like the
linebacker,
using
DL,
the linebacker and DL.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Because like there's very few that I pick up that are just DL.
I mean, because there's very few that really produce, right? Like, I mean, you have, you know, back in the days you had like Snacks Harrison. He's gonna get you like 100 solos. Like that was awesome. You know what I mean? But then but
now they switch them out so much that it's hard for them to get that many tackles anymore.
You want milk, dude? Okay.
All right, we're gonna get up out of here. We've been rocking for almost an hour and a half, but this was a good little session. We need to do this for like the redraft leagues, and because I feel like even just giving our thoughts on some guys you should trade for, you know, maybe a little earlier. I mean, it goes hand in hand with the waivers, you know, same kind of thing, except you're figuring out who you got to target from guys who are already rostered.
What'd you guys do to the fort? I whisked them up this little fort. They just tore it down and tearing it up.
Be on the lookout for another blockbuster in 14.
Ooh. All right.
I knew I could smell one coming.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to get in this mix. I'm gonna see what Titans needs over here.
Hey, Titans he's coming through shaking the whole thing up. I love it.
I didn't like the team at all. It was way too
I don't blame you.
heavy.
I didn't like your team either.
Yeah.
But hey, you're building in your likeness now, and you do have he's the guy that was taking all the IDPs. So it's like, of course, everyone is gonna want to come talking now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, for sure. Well, shit.
Yep. Let's get up out of here. And we got FNT tomorrow, 1 p.m. West Coast time, 4 p.m. East Coast time. Got a lot of news to talk about. You guys there?
Say bye. Say bye.
You ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother.
Show me the money.
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile. Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
My pocket, it don't make sense, but don't make a profit. So I hustle, ladies and homies. Make money, money.
Call out here for a pill. Ready tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find a thing to save my life, so I hustle.
It ain't over for me. No, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Show me the money!
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.